Welcome into the Cam and Strick podcast, episode number 128.
Damn, boy. Hey, you ever wake up and your girl's not next to you and you're like, oh, and then you go into another room and she's passed out in another room. And then you go into the bathroom of that room and there's towels on the ground and then a pillow by the toilet. You ever have that?
Man, I'm trying to think.
Wow.
What, did
Poor
somebody
girl.
give birth last night? Something happened?
No, we had a little Easter party, man. And she was just smashing booze like we all were. She just couldn't handle it. And I woke up this morning and she's literally, poor girl's just, she's passed out. But I look in the bathroom and there's that pillow right by the toilet. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to throw that one away. But yeah, okay. She had a rough one. Had a lovely time though, Andy. Lovely time.
Was this in the green bathroom or what? The Easter egg bathroom?
No, it was upstairs. It was upstairs in a bathroom that we shower in because we don't want to shower in the main bathroom yet until we fix it.
Listen, I'm not gonna chirp the wife, but she passed out at the Easter party. Like, is that what I'm hearing here?
Isn't that funny though?
I mean, who does that?
Hopefully she's not listening. But because Andy and I are both at our house right now, which is kind of nice. We're looking at each other through Zoom. But that girl has been by my side through so many different parties. You've been to one, been to a couple of them. She's been on the Lake of the Ozarks partying all fucking day, partying all night, and she's been pretty damn good. But then the Easter egg party with our little nieces, she couldn't handle it. She woke up next to the toilet. So poor girl. She's been working her ass off, man. So I'm going to catch her a break on that.
Well, absolutely. So she had to call in sick today then. She's not going in.
Yeah, she called in sick today. She's like, I can't do it. And I'm like, no, just relax today, girl.
I mean, she's hungover from the Easter egg party. What do you guys drink at your Easter egg hunt?
Oh, fuck. I mean, I was
Mad Dog 2020. Like, what's going on there?
They don't let that Mad Dog in the wealthy part of Franklin County, bro. I was drinking fucking mimosas out the wazoo. The poor little girls. Like I set up, like my family used to do Easter egg hunts, Andy, back in the day, and we loved it. So I set up this Easter egg hunt, put the Easter eggs in the cemetery with all the big money in. I spread them around, and these poor girls were like striking across the yard, like, oh God, hell. And they both had to take a nap because I hid the eggs too goddamn far apart for them. So they got a workout in, man. They both passed out right afterwards, but they got some coin, Andy, and they were making it rain last night.
Cam, what are you putting in your Easter eggs? Chew? I mean, is that what you're putting in there? You have chew for the little kids?
No, I had three different levels. You got the little eggs that are kind of scattered around close, and they get like candy in there. Then you got the bigger eggs. You got a bunch of coin, like quarters in there. So it's like $6. Then you got another set of eggs with a little toy and quarters. And then the big mama eggs are like $10 bills, a couple $5 bills, maybe a 20 here and there. So they came on top, but they had to scatter through the graveyard, which is really creepy.
Dude, you're not putting $20 bills in those Easter eggs.
Yeah, we are. Oh yeah.
Are you? I need to see proof of that.
Look at my Facebook, man. They had all the cash up. They got a lot of gifts last night. Okay. We had a good time, man.
You want to know how my wife does the Easter egg hunt?
What?
Dude, she just scatters them all over the yard. I'm like, that's not a hunt.
That's not a hunt. Then you step on them.
Oh, they go outside. They see them everywhere. You're supposed to have to try to find them. She's like, I don't care. I just threw them all over the yard, like hundreds of them.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, here's another one. Oh, here's another one. Oh, there's no. They got to work for it, okay? Especially if there's coin in them. You got to work for it. So, but we had a good time, man. But she's fucking hurting today, dude. It is what it is.
Yeah, I've never heard of that, man. I mean, listen, your Easter egg. I don't know what's going on with your Easter egg. They turn it into like a frat party.
Imagine what my party is going to be like. Oh shit. So. But fuck, man, we were here and I heard a bunch of coyotes last night and shit. It was crazy, dude. So
yeah, I know. Listen, I've got these birds, man. These woodpeckers. You know about these woodpeckers?
They are they not the most annoying fucking bird in the world? A woodpecker? It's like somebody taking a nail and nailing your neighbors, like hitting your house with a nail. You're like, it's horrible.
Dude, they're all over my house right now here in the where am I?
Yeah, blue collar part of Ladue.
But the wildlife was all over. We got great weather right now. Oh, I went to an allergist, by the way, Cam.
Oh, God.
She hooked it up. She took care of me. She absolutely loves me, by the way.
She gave you fucking Claritin? I mean, is that
No. She's so smart. She knew everything. She gave me a skin test. You ever had a skin test?
I'd like to see what your results would
be. Your results.
My skin? Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Toxic? Toxic.
Dude, they put these drops on your back, and then they write with like ink. They indicate what every drop is, so they label it, right, 1 through 6, and then they put these drops, and based on how your skin reacts, then they number it 1 through 4, and they can determine what your allergies are, dude, down to the actual tree, to the kind of grass. I'm allergic to so much grass. And maybe that's part of the problem because I eat so much grass. That's why my allergies have been just going crazy, Cam. So the grass and the trees are absolutely killing me. But I know which trees now. And she gave me a couple subscriptions, dude, or is it prescription? I get it confused.
No, it's a prescription, dude. Okay, trust me, I know about those.
She gave me the she gave me the prescription, and now I feel good as gold, dude. I'm ready for another Easter egg hunt, man. I've got no problem going outside.
Man, I can't take it anymore. I'm fucking eating Claritin like they're fucking Skittles. I can't deal with it. I'm sniffing around like fucking a crackhead. Everybody's like, "You okay? Your eyes?" I'm like, "No, it's fucking allergies. Stop." But yeah, dude, I need to get hooked up. I can't. Once I go outside, it's just every morning automatic sneeze. Again, when she's laying next to me, unlike last night, like I wake her up in the morning because I have a sneeze attack at 4:00 in the morning. Like that's like torture. She's like, "Oh God, somebody robbing us?" No, I'm just sneezing. So,
Wait,
whatever.
You didn't hear get up in the middle of the night?
No,
you slept through it,
dude. She creeps around like a cat, man. Like you can't hear. I stumble around like falling, knocking over shit when I walk around. She could slide in and out, and I don't even know.
What'd you have for dinner last night?
Well, I went to bed at like 7:30, but I mean, we just ate shit all day long, man. I put on like 20 pounds. Man, I am overweight. Dude, I can't. I buy clothes, and I'm like, oh, this fits good. Oh, yay! And then I buy some more, and then I look, and my fucking bulge is sticking out because they're so tight where my waist is. One day I'm this, one day I'm that. That's why I wear the same damn clothes every day, the sweatpants, because they're the ones that fit me. It's horrible.
Yeah. That's when you know you're overweight, when you're wearing sweatpants every day, dude.
When it's 90 degrees.
Every day. Like, you know that guy. There's people listening to us right now. They've got one pair of pants. You know who you are. You wear the same pants, the same sweatpants every day. That's when it's time to flip the switch. Okay.
Fuck that. I'm wearing overalls now because you could just like hike them up. And if you're fat, it doesn't matter. If you're skinny, who gives a shit? Overalls. That's the key to the game right now.
Dude, am I naive or like I really kind of thought we were kind of getting through COVID? Like it was the light at the end of the tunnel. It was kind of gone. And then I see Vancouver. Like there's a fight going on, by the way, on Twitter between like the beat writer and Darren Drager. Although Drager's not really responding. He just reported something. And then the beat writer is like, I hear it's not that bad at all. There's only a handful of guys that have it. And TSN's like, no, there's like 20, dude. And like family members have it too. And people are actually pretty sick. Although the COVID list, man, sometimes it can scare you because you hear all these names and hear the numbers and the stats. But then you don't even know if the guys actually have it because they can go on the COVID list without having COVID.
Yeah, no shit.
They're shut down though, man. They're shut down for a while.
Yeah, dude, that sucks. It's very bizarre. Canada's getting rocked right now. They kind of have another wave going on, and they're like still shut down. They're doing everything they're supposed to do, even to a point where people are complaining like, we kind of need to survive with our business. So there's always that balance, but it's just like, they tease you with opening and all of a sudden shit spreads again. And then this, that, and the other. God, there is some fucking video, man. And look, we had a barbecue at the house, dude. We had people over. Everybody's kind of vaccinated already that came over to my house and shit like that. So it's like, we're not, when people come in, I don't hug them anymore, right? Like some people you do, if I don't know you, I'm not going to hug you. Like that kind of shit changes, Andy. But man, oh man, I saw a video of the fucking Portnoy put out of that scene in Chicago at Wrigleyville where like, it was the most disgusting, nasty scene where you got a guy puking like, and then like these girls are fighting, like touching each other, falling in the puke. And then other people are doing this. It's like, oh my God. I think another fucking bacteria is going to be formed just with all these mutants cruising around puking on each other. And you're like, I would never be in that mix. I still don't like to be around people. But God, if you're on the COVID list, back to my point, sorry, Andy. But like, even if you don't have it, look what Zach Sanford had to do. He had to fly a private jet that the Blues had to pay for, go fucking get tested again, fly all the way back. It was negative. Like, damn, dude, it's
he had to sit there in a hotel by himself for 2 days.
But he had to fly somewhere first. Like the Blues had to pay for a jet.
He had to fly to go meet the team. The team left. They left him behind. They were like, "You can't come."
God,
and he didn't even have COVID.
Fuck, man, I know. It's funny, but it's also like fucking.
No,
horrible.
It's terrible. No, that's horrible. I mean, how pissed would you be? And I can't imagine he was very happy. The team probably wasn't very happy either. But these tests, man, I mean, they're pretty accurate for the most part, but you get those false positives. You get false positives all the time. That scene you're talking about, that's how I picture your radio show on Fridays. You're always talking about. I picture that. I picture that kind of scene. You're like, dude, it was packed. There's so many people. You want to come out? And then you're like, you want to come out? I'm like, not really.
No, it's all good. No, you don't want to hang out with cool people and beautiful girls. No, I get it, Andy. It's all good, baby. Stay in your little wealthy area. Stay in your fucking bubble. But no, man, again, I'm just saying you're right. Like, just things have changed. Even the fucking, we talked about this before, even the shaking hands bullshit. Don't fucking shake my hand anymore. My hands are sweaty and it's gross already. And then if you shake my hand, you feel the sweatiness and you're probably like, oh God, you give me COVID. I ain't doing that no more.
Okay. Can we talk
fucking
about this?
Fist pump?
I got to ask you for some people just don't know how to give the fist pump. Like it's even more awkward with some of these guys. And it's like,
they'll elbow you. The
fist bump for me, that's always been my go-to. I'm never really been into like shaking hands, unless it's appropriate to do so.
Well, it's nice to have big hands when you shake hands. So I
know all about that. So anyway, some people just all of a sudden they extend the hand, and it's like you're caught in that moment, dude. That's like where you freeze, and you're like, "What do I do?"
Yes.
What do you do? Do you extend the hand? Do you shake the hand? Are you like, come on, dude, give me a little elbow action, give me a little fist bump? We don't need to be shaking hands right now. Some people are just like, fuck COVID, I'm shaking your hand. And I'm like,
no.
How do you know if the other person wants to shake your hand?
You initiate and you give the body language, Andy, that I don't do the fucking handshake hug shit anymore. Don't hug me, especially if you're a fucking dude. I don't need to hug you. Get on with yourself. You're lucky you're getting a fist pump now. I should just wink at you or something. That's what it should be. We don't even have any contact. Now, on the other side of that, Andy, it is nice to give somebody a fucking hug that you haven't seen in a long time. Like I go to my parents' house every goddamn day. I go to my parent. You know that. You know how my mom and dad are with me, man. I am just they're going through kind of a weird time with me not being around and their health a little bit here. And I don't get too far and the doggy's sick. Oh God, that's their everything. So even when I go over there, like my mom and dad want to fucking give me a hug so bad, I don't do it. I just don't do it yet until they get both their vaccinations. I don't really touch. I kind of stay away from them, but I'm still over there outside hanging out with them. But man, so my point is, I don't want to fucking shake your hand.
Did they come over for the Easter egg?
My dad had to get another stent put in his heart. Yeah. So again, I don't want to fucking bore. He's okay. But he's okay. He's okay. He's okay. Yeah, he's good. I don't want to bore people. But on the other hand, you guys know how much my mom and daddy mean to me. Okay. Like it is what it is. I'm going to be a fucking disaster. So I just, my point is though, I don't even hug them and I want to hug them, but it's just the way it is now, Andy. And it's tough not doing that sometimes.
Okay. So would you ever consider having your parents move into your house? Like give them the green bathroom?
They wouldn't want to. They want to move. Oh my God. So you guys know I live next.
Answer the question. Would you consider?
They're not moving into my motherfucking house.
I think you would.
No, I would. They're not going to bother me. All I can do, they would just walk around the neighborhood all day with the dogs and shit. But they're independent. I would do that. Don't get me wrong. But it's just they want to get the fuck away from their house now, man. Because a lady that moved into my house, I was right next door. Oh God, she's bugging the shit. I shouldn't even say it. I shouldn't say it because I can hear. I know Kate's passed out right now, but she's sending something to me through my brain, and she said, "Cam, don't talk about that." But the point is, I think my parents want to get the fuck out of there.
Why? What's she doing?
Man,
what's she doing?
This is not me. my family knows everybody in the neighborhood, but she's just.
Oh God, she's new, man. Give her a chance. Give her a chance. Be nice.
It's more than that. Dude. It's more than that.
What could she possibly be doing? How annoying could you be to live next door to? I mean, let's be honest.
When you're blood. But now they're just not used to it. It's all good.
She's an old lady, lives by herself.
Yeah, she's complaining about a lot of things.
Oh, listen, I've had my fair share of neighbor drama.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, like shit like that.
I know
okay.
Hey, listen, I was thinking in your little Easter eggs for these little kids. First off, all the adults, I saw the video. Like they're all like chilling out, having adult conversation. You're running around the yard, like screaming. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
I don't know. Because that's what my grandpa did back in the day.
Are you the grandpa?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Like, get back up in the adult section. Do you sit at the kids' table too during dinner? Or no?
Did you see me order them around? I'm watching that video. I'm like, oh God, the poor girl's like, I can't get there quick enough. Help. They're trying to like run through the grass. And I'm like, oh my God, I spread these damn things out way too far for these little girls. They honestly both passed out right afterwards, like this. Right on the couch, like they couldn't even
like Kate did. Everyone's what kind of Easter party is this? Everybody's passing out. Were you giving them blue? Did you give them blue? Were they getting blue chews inside their Easter eggs or what? God, you probably put some blue chews in there too.
I ain't wasting those motherfuckers.
you can get your blue chews right now.
Well, good thing I didn't waste
Cam.
Yeah, good thing I didn't waste a blue chew last night because Kate wasn't having it.
Oh God, yeah, you don't want to waste those. But the best part about the blue chew though, Cam, you just chew it. If you don't like pills, this is like different. This isn't even in the pill category. This is in like the what category would you put it in? It's kind of like a
fucking gum category. I don't know, like you just chew it the fuck up. Look,
if you're it's like honestly, an edible. Yeah.
Can I say something real quick about look, when you're addicted to pills, and I don't want to, but guys know, because we have a lot of these guys that text us saying, not having to even swallow a fucking pill sometimes like sparks your craving for when you used to eat pills all the time. So to have a chewable thing, it maybe not spark that fucking craving in the back of your head if you haven't taken pills in a long time. I know that's reaching, but I'm just telling you, we'll get some texts from cats and they're like, Cam, you're 100% right on that. So that's a positive, man.
It's gonna spark something. You know what I mean? And
your wife's gonna be like, oh my word, you're Superman. And you're gonna be like, fuck yeah, I am. Fucking right.
Not you, Andy. Yeah, well, I might be. You don't have to go to a doctor, no pharmacy, no waiting in lines.
No.
And some people might be embarrassed by it, dude. This box, it comes like in a discreet box. You don't even know what's in it. Nobody knows. The mailman doesn't know.
Embarrassed. I'm fucking shouting out like it came. Oh, and all the neighbors like, go get it. You go ahead. Congratulations. Have fun. That's what they do. They cheer you on, man. Like, good job. Now your relationship's going to be better. Really?
Yeah, they have varieties too, man, depending on what you want. Do you want it to last a long time, or do you need it right at that moment? Some people need it right at the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Depends how much energy you got. You're going to last all night. But if you're already fucking tired, you just want to get it going. They got options. Okay.
All right. So get that Blue Chew. BlueChew.com. Right now it's free except for the $5 shipping. So take advantage of that while it lasts. Mention the promo code CAM. And I purposely made it Cam for this particular
I need it
promo.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. What do I care? I'm not embarrassed. You should have seen me back in the day. Dude, I embarrassed myself so much back in the day, Andy. Oh my God. I'm like, I'm drunk. Like, Cam, what's wrong with you? If I would have had Blue Chew, I would have been a sexual tyrannosaurus in my heyday. That was embarrassing.
You guys are passing out at the Easter egg hunt. I never even heard of this before.
Oh God! Imagine what the fucking real party is going to be like, dude.
Oh my God!
Jesus Christ! No one's going to want to come over.
You're putting Skull 2 inside the Easter egg, dude.
Like, oh yay! We walked 5 miles to get a pinch of Skull. Oh, thank you, Uncle Cam.
So, dude, Brett Hall, man, what a trip he was. I just wonder. For a lot of our listeners, man, like we know Holly. We've been around Holly for a long time. People in St. Louis, they know his personality. They get him, man. Like, he's just pure fun. Like, nobody enjoys life more than Brett Hall. This guy is just like nothing but fun. And for the rest of the hockey world to kind of get a taste of that, I think people absolutely loved it.
Well, in a raw way, dude. I mean, shit, he can go on fucking Sports Plus at Channel 2 or whatever the fuck he wants, and like, you're not getting Holly, dude. So even on terrestrial radio, like he'll do a couple things to promote his fucking Codago or his restaurant up in St. Charles and St. Louis there, but he's not giving you the fucking heat like he did with us, calling out guys, doing this, being legit, like processing every question we ask him in his head and letting it out. Like, he did us a favor, man, by being on his game, dude. It's like seeing a rock star lead singer that's fucking just on one night. He gives you everything instead of just kind of get me out of here, you know? So
I know
he brought the heat, dude.
he did. And dude,
yeah,
people know, like, that's so important. Like, I'll give you an example, and I'll let people know. I was talking to Luke Robitaille last night, and it's like, hey, you want to get him on? And he's like, all right, no problem. I'll have about 30 minutes. And I'm like, man, listen, let's reschedule that. Let's wait till you have time. You're not going to be rushed. He goes, man, my schedule is so crazy right now. And I'm like, no worries, dude. There's no rush. I'd rather get these guys who are like these Hall of Fame people, let alone players, man. Like, there's so much to get into. There's not enough time to give the listeners what they deserve and to give these players what they deserve, man. The time necessary to tell their story, dude. We don't. So 30 minutes, I'd rather not do it and reschedule. So in the case of Holy, like, there have been times that we had a arrangement to bring him on, dude. He's like, yeah, I can do it. I'll be in the car. I'll be at the golf course. And I'm like, no, man.
Fuck no.
At home where you're just chilling with your feet up, you know?
And here's another thing, Andy, dude. I don't like to, you know, you listen to these interviews, right? Because we do radio every fucking day. And we interview, especially you. And I don't even like to interview people on the radio because it's just not, when we've done what we've done for this long now, it's not even the fucking same. You're way better at it than me to really get what you need out of it. I just like to have people next to me. But man, what I was going to say is like, yeah, dude, when we talk to these guys, when you're on the radio and they have to go for 20 minutes, they're like, okay, so tell me about the school. So I like to be, dude, what are you doing? Where you at? Oh, fuck, you're on the dock? Oh, shit. Okay, what's it look like? What do you know, set it up. Then they're comfortable. Then they're like, okay, we get it, man. What, you know, that kind of shit. That takes like 20 minutes. And I love doing that. We both love to get to know what they're doing at that specific time, get them comfortable, and then we move into what we need to move into. And if you don't have that get to know you process, I don't know. It's just like, no, we'll wait on you, dude. We'll wait on you.
Yeah, you can still do that on radio a little bit, but it is different. There's no question. I had John Michael Iles on the radio last week, dude. This guy does like television segments in his wine cave, dude, just sipping wine.
We talked about him.
Drinking wine, dude. He's cool, man. He played a long time too. He's a good dude. We're gonna get him on eventually.
I was Andy, I was doing a thing for the Blues the other day, and two people came up to me and said, "Oh, you got John Michael Iles on." I go, "No, we didn't." I go, and another guy asked me, I go, "Did we?" I go, "When the fuck did we get him on?" I'm like, "No, Andy got him on his radio show." He's like, "Oh, okay, but he's a great guy. You got to get him on the podcast." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, we will get him on. He is a good dude.
Yeah.
So he's got a good story too, man. He's like, his parents are from Alabama, dude. He grew up in Indianapolis, dude. He was like the only good player. He's like a St. Louis kid, man. When you play hockey in Indy, all you do is get your ass kicked your whole life. You can't compete against the Michigan teams. A little bit now. But everywhere they go, they would get beat badly, man. So he's a success story, man. To make it out of Indy, play as long as he did.
Mobile, Alabama.
His parents are from there, dude.
Really?
I'm like, man, that's a first.
Damn, dude. Yeah, playing in Indy, the Indiana Racers. We used to shit kick them back in the day, and they played in that piece of shit Carmel ice rink. Remember Carmel, Indiana?
Oh yeah, that's where he played, dude. That's where he played. It was
shitty. Yeah, dude. I remember. No offense, dudes. I know we got some fans in Indy and all that, but hey, it is what it is. Our places were shitty too back in the day. Now they're not.
Hey, so Tone Amonte's coming on this edition of the Cam and Strick podcast, man. And again, dude, this guy straight up delivers. Like, dude. You know, I had a feeling, I knew he'd be good, but you know, are they really gonna like give it their all? You know what I'm saying? Are they truly gonna bring it?
It's so funny how that works.
Everything they've got and give us an A+ effort. This guy absolutely did, man. We appreciate that so much when they do that.
Damn, Andy, I will say this too, man. It's like when people ask me to go on podcasts, which I have to spread them out now, I bring the fucking heat, dude. I'll give you my attention. I'll get detailed in stories. Like I get the game. Like it's hard. So we evaluate the effort when people come on the podcast. We evaluate it. And we kind of should. This is not just a joke this is our fucking livelihood, man. This is our baby. It's our business. So we expect you to come bring the heat. And he certainly did that. And we really haven't had too many guys that didn't do that, by the way, Andy. So I think they expect when they come on that they need to deliver. And if anybody that we've had on has anything going on and they wanted me and you to come on, we would bring the heat. Just like I brought the heat when I elbowed you in the head the other day and I scored right afterwards. Just like Bobby Plager brought the heat when he put you on your ass. Just like Chaser put you on your ass. He brought the heat that day. That's what we do, and we expect it from the other guys.
Dude, but Tone Amonte, like he played with a certain style. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And people may forget that. He had the hair going on. He and JR doing their thing. They go back to high school together. Then JR slashes him in the face. It kind of just kind of like impairs their relationship, their friendship a little bit. It wasn't the same. They're all good now, man. But just some hilarious stories, dude. He's a great storyteller, man. He was part of that core group of all those USA players, man, who just had so much fun, made so much money, and just had fun.
He made a lot of money.
Entire careers. Oh yeah, they all made money.
He made a ton of money during it. And we like to get these guys that, like, do you hear Tone Amonte that much? No. But when you think of him, you're like, oh shit, 90s nostalgia. Let's go. Get him on. I remember that motherfucker 10-2 and everybody, 100 miles an hour. Got that flow going out, that curly ass flow. Let's go. Tuck this shit in his socks. I loved it, man. He had cool style. He was fast. He had that like fucking little sex appeal to him and JR. Dude, that's why we get these cats on, man. We love it.
Oh yeah. And of course, there's always Keenan stories, dude. I hope Keenan does it. Does Keenan listen to this podcast?
Nah, he's going to end up killing you, I think, dude. He's going to end up killing you. I think he likes me. No, he's going to kill you, dude. You're the one who always asks Keenan questions, and also they always bash him so bad.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, that was Andy.
Well, we've had a few guys say, hey, that they like Keenan, dude. We've had a lot of guys say that, actually.
Yeah, we've had a couple. We've had more guys say that they like Keenan than I think Mac Babcock.
Oh, God.
Right?
I haven't heard too many. Well, there may be a couple.
No, there's a couple
that didn't mind Babs.
I forgot who it was, though. We had him on. It was a couple months ago. I can't remember.
I forgot too. Might have been his wife.
Yeah, no, it was Ken Hitchcock. That's what.
Oh, Hitch. It was Hitch.
Yeah, it was Hitch saying, "Oh, I love Babs. We play great golf together." Oh, okay. He must be a good guy.
Dude, you usually say one wrong thing per episode. I think you asked. You thought that Mark Messier was hooking up with Paris Hilton. No.
It was
Madonna,
seriously.
dude. It was Madonna.
No, I know. He was banging both of them. No, don't fuck with me on this.
Paris Hilton, too?
I heard that a million times. Yes.
Dude, how old would Paris Hilton be when Messier was playing with the Rangers?
He wasn't playing. No. He wasn't playing with the Rangers when he was smashing it, dude. He was fucking old, retired Mark Messier doing this thing downtown. No. Don't connect. Let me connect the dots for you. He wasn't playing in 94. Paris Hilton was like 6, you dummy. I'm talking when he retired and she was doing her thing. They fucking hooked up in New York. That's what I heard. I don't know. Is that so far off fetched? That guy could do whatever the hell he wants. And he's single, I think.
Might have been Jeter.
I hope so.
Might have been Jeter. Might have been
Jeter. Jeter was smashing everything. He was smashing everything and never got in trouble.
You confused me there because we were talking about when he played with Messier in New York, and then you're like, wait, was he hooking up with Paris Hilton? I'm like, wait, no, back then.
No, don't fucking twist it around like I'm.
People will have to listen.
Listen to it. Hey, Derek Jeter is one of the biggest pimps going, dude. Think about all the shit he did, and he never got in a weird jam, right? Oh, yeah. Like, and being in a spot like that, dating all those models and Madonna, I think, and all that shit.
Are we talking Jeter or Messier? What are you talking about?
Well, Jeter's like the number one pimp in sports history. One of them.
Well, you know what the stories are. Like, whoever hung out with them, you had to put your cell phone away, man. You had to hand over your cell phone.
Fucking right. But you're getting, dude, you just walk into a place like that. Then the girls come and you're like, you're only taking 1 or 2 or 3 home. And then you got 16 left. And you're like, hi. You know, that's what you do. I mean, take my fucking phone. I don't give a shit. I'll pay to hang out with you.
This interview brought to you by CarShield. Let's get to it. CarShield.com. Hey, you never know when something's going to go down with your car. You got to make sure you have that protection. Dude, this does not cost a lot of money. Like, everything that we talk about with our sponsors are things that you have to have. These are like a must-have. It's to make your life simpler, simplify your life, and make sure if you get caught in a jam, man, that you're taken care of. So again, CarShield and CarShield.com. Mention the promo code CAM. I know that's embarrassing too, but it'll save you some money. So make sure you take advantage of that. Don't forget about these promo codes for all our sponsors, man. We want to save you some money. So again, CarShield and CarShield.com, 800-857-2481. Your computer goes out, your engine, alternator, starter, whatever it is, man. Make sure you're protected with CarShield and CarShield.com. All right, keep it handsome, Cam. I got to tell people about these new Cam and Strick bundles. And Brody's got to post this later on today so people can see what it is. I want to learn how to do like a swipe up. You know how to do a swipe up on Instagram, Cam? Do you have any idea?
Yes. I think you have to have a certain amount of followers.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So anyway, well, check this out, man. Go to keepithandsome.com, dude. You got the Jansen bundle. You got the Andy bundle as well.
What's that one look like? What's that one look like?
I recommend you get both.
What does that one look like?
Well, my bundle has the beard moisturizer, dude. There's no question about that. I'm trying to look. What else does it have here? It has the shampoo, sculpting paste, and a Cam and Strick limited edition hat, dude. So that's pretty good.
Get on! Hey, I told you that hair. Look, the shampoo and the gel. It's because some gel smells like shit. This shit smells sexy. I told you it smells. You smell handsome. You smell handsome. That's
which is key.
It's key. Like your girl's like, oh my God. Like I want that. That's what she smells.
I want that. Hey, so that's like close to $100 purchase if you just bought these individually, and now you can get it for under $80. So take advantage of the Strick bundle. How about the Jansen bundle though? Here's what you get. You get beard moisturizer in yours too.
Well, you should. I got a fat ass beard going.
You get the hat. You get the Fight Ugly French Terry hoodie. And these are all on sale, by the way, right now. And then the travel-friendly daily shampoo. This is a value of over $100 that you get for $86, dude. So that's a pretty good deal. Again, Father's Day is around the corner, man. Tell your wife, dude, your girlfriend, like this is what you want for Father's Day coming up.
People always come up to me real quick. They always come up to me and go, "Where the hell did you get that sweatshirt at?" And I'm like, "Dude, I explain it to them. It's unbelievable." So it sticks out, man. Fight the ugly, and especially we take care of the bully situation as well. We've all been bullied except for Andy, which is really, really bizarre. but it helps fight that, man. And we always, even if a bully, you never know, man. He might be going through some shit too. So you just kind of like dissect everything with that, man.
Yeah, a portion of the proceeds go back to the Montreal Resource Center that fights bullying.
Right there, right there.
Get the package, dude. Everybody should have a Fight Ugly hoodie, Fight Ugly hat. Let's take care of our business people too, our sponsors, man, to make sure they stay on board and stick around with us too, man.
Man. We need. Hey, it keeps this thing going.
Out.
It keeps this thing going.
That's right. All right, Bellman and Bellman.com, man. I'm trying to think of the best way to like explain Dan Bellman and Bellman.com, Cam and Troy, Missouri. How do you explain it to people?
Well, they're unbelievable. For one, it's easy walking in there. You don't have, I'm going to save that for the end. Listen, you walk in there, you get great customer service. I know you hear that a lot, but let's fucking be honest. Most of the time you walk into some of these places, you got 50 fucking dudes coming out like, no. I could cruise around. They're very subtle when they talk to you. They give you great prices, and they have everything on both those big old lots, dude. If you want a fucking Jeep or you want one of them fat ass Dodge Ram diesel dualies, ooh, doggy, just like on Yellowstone. You look badass like the Yellowstone cats. Check that bad boy out. I'm going to rent one too and take one of those Byerly RVs and go up to Montana with it. You want to do shit like that? You're a big construction guy, unlike Andy. Andy doesn't even know what a dually is, but they got everything up there and no swinging dicks.
Okay, so that's the key there. Okay, so what does that mean? Like, what does that mean when you say that?
Well, that means like 10 fucking dudes aren't coming out swinging their dick like, oh, how you doing? I beat up your boyfriend back in the day. No, you did not. Sound bitch.
All in Troy, Missouri, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, and then the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Get that pink Jeep, 2-door, small wheels, man. Flames on the side, too, in time for the summer. Maybe a better ride to have than a Jeep in the summer. Like, I could use a Jeep. I'd look cool in a Jeep, too, man. I mean,
yeah, you sure about that?
God. Hey, Jeep instantly just kind of makes you look a little bit cooler, man.
Yeah, I like
guys and girls.
I like the Grand Cherokees, man. They got some big engines in some of those.
Those are nice.
You don't like big engines. You like the small engines, don't you? You like the cars that stop at the stoplight and they turn off. And you press it again, and they turn on. You could turn that on off, but you do that, right?
Oh yeah, it saves gas actually.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Your car doesn't offer that.
It's a pain. Yeah, it does. I got that range. It's a pain in the ass. I don't like it. I turn it off. I'm afraid it's not going to start back up. I'm like, no, just start. How much gas am I literally saving in like 2 seconds for that thing to shut off?
You're saving some. Dude,
some. It probably costs more gas starting it on and off. I don't know. There's a reason why they do it. Who knows?
All right, Daredevil Hockey, man. Again, the promo code Cam and Strick. This is going to save you 25%. And we got to welcome Daredevil Hockey again, like to the Cam and Strick podcast family, for all y'all listening right now, man. They are the ultimate in performance plus protection. Like, you wear this under your gear. If you're a hockey parent out there, this is a no-brainer, man. Skate lacerations, the number one cause of emergency room visits in all of hockey is because of skate lacerations. It's so dangerous. Why not protect your kids to avoid that, man? That's probably the scariest thing you can think about when it comes to playing hockey. You don't want to get cut, man. You don't want to get, hit from behind into the boards, and you don't want to be cut by a stick. DaredevilHockey.com. Go to the website to check it out. Again, you're going to save 25%. That is a huge deal. Backed by Carlo Koliakovo, longtime NHL defenseman. He's a brand ambassador.
Yes.
Also the CHL, man, who's just hurting right now. The WHL is going. The Quebec League is going. But I hear the OHL, they're going to shut it down soon, man. There's not going to be a season, which is just really insane, man. I hope that doesn't happen, but that's what I was told. Anyway, take your game to the next level while being protected. This is so important. And Cam, you wore it last week, dude. You hardly even know you have it on.
Don't even know I have it on. It's tight. It fits great. It's loose. It feels loose, but it fits tight, right? You know what I mean? And you don't even know where the Kevlar's at. Like, you can't even tell. You could tell if you look at it and really touch it, but when you're playing, dude, it's just like having awesome undergear on, and I look sexy in it too. So I got to take some pictures next time I go out there, and I have to do a lot of push-ups before I do it, though.
Yeah, well, the Kevlar, the cut resistant material is only in the vulnerable areas. It's not all Kevlar, right? So, I mean, again, it's like super comfortable. It looks cool too, man. Daredevil Hockey,
they got it going, dude. They got it going big time.
They got it. All right, Ultimate Hockey fans, dude. Listen, I got the fan hung up, the Cam and Strick ceiling fan. These things are so cool, Cam. You can have it custom made for whatever team you want, man. Just talk to Paul, former goaltender. And
nice flow.
Oh yeah, promo code Cam and Strick is going to save you free shipping, dude. And it costs a lot of money to ship these things. You see them on the NHL Network, but again, dude, what they've got going on with these ceiling fans that are hockey sticks that look cool in any man cave, any kid's bedroom. If you have a hockey room in your house, dude, you just hang this bad boy up. And it just takes your room to the next level. People walk in and they're like, damn, dude, where'd you get that?
Exactly. Oh, dude, you walk in, you're like, whoa, sticks right out. And you put one on down in the basement or in Ty's room.
Mm-hmm. In Ty's hockey room.
In Ty's hockey room. See, that's cool. Ty's hockey room. There you go. You didn't have that before I started complaining to you about it. You didn't have that. Ty's hockey room. Fucking A. And he's got a badass light. You better protect that light down there if he's ripping shots, though.
I know. He's still at that age. He's still at that age where it's protected, but he like throws his stick's up high. I worry about that a little bit. So have a high ceiling. But it's got like the goalie mask over the light, dude. It's pretty cool, man.
It's awesome looking.
And Paul does it right. So again, Cam and Strick pod dot ultimatehockeyfans.com. Cam and Strick pod dot ultimatehockeyfans.com. You mentioned that promo code. Cam and Strick, and you're going to save some money on the shipping. And again, if you don't have if you can't remember that link, dude, just call them, dude, and order it under the Cam and Strick promo code, dude. And Paul will hook you up. There's no question about that. All right. And when I drive black tie. Right now, I got the BMW. I had a little issue, Cam. Let me just say this about drive black tie.
Yeah.
I hit a pothole. I had a flat tire, dude. They took care of me, dude, like it was absolutely nothing, man. They treat you like your family over there with dry black ties. So you can drive anything, man, from economy cars all the way up to like sports cars, exotic cars. You
Corvettes.
Want a G-Wagon. You want a Corvette. I know, Cam. Yes, a Corvette. Corvettes are cool, right? I know you used to drive.
I mean, look, they're not I'll explain a Corvette. They're like the higher end of the Mustang, Camaro, Firebird era, right? They're the cool ones of that. Especially the new ones that look like fucking Ferraris. Now, if you want to be at a Porsche and shit like that, that's another level. Those are about $100,000. These are nice Porsche can be $200,000. You know what I mean? So like, well,
you can get one with dry black tie. That's a
exactly
for sure.
Or a Maserati or anything.
Or a Range or a BMW, whatever you want to drive, man. Or you want to drive economy like Cam, dude. You can drive economy too, dude. Get that bronze package. Get that bronze package.
Yeah, dude.
And again, car insurance. Property tax is all included there with dry black tie. So check that out. Call Ellie today. You can talk to Dylan. Hook it up. All right, let's get to the interview here, man. Tone Amonte, one of the true superstars of the 1990s, scored over 400 goals, over 900 points. This guy had a great career, and we get into it right here on the Cam and Strick podcast.
Tony.
Yeah.
You got that mullet still? You got that mullet going on still?
Nah, fuck no. I'm too old for that shit.
Come on now. Bring it back.
Fuck, if I could grow it, I'd still do it, dude. But my hair sucks.
Did you not? Did you forget about us? Be honest.
Yeah, what happened?
No, I was just in the shower, just popping out right now.
You're fucking golfing today. Don't lie.
No, it's actually warm here though. It is.
Oh, is it? It's kind of hot here too. Hey, listen, we just hit record and we just roll. So we just kind of, this is all we do, Tony. We just talk.
Okay.
You, man.
So, I know you're a coach. Does that mean you're like a PE teacher too? Like, do you teach science or you just coach?
Just coach.
That's a good question because in high school, man, like all the football coaches,
they're like the driver's ed coach.
No, they're like a history teacher, and they don't give a shit about teaching anything. They just want to do anything.
They wear their like coaching shorts while they're coaching history. So how'd you get that gig? I know you're like a legend. Do you just show up one day and be like, okay, I hold all the records at Thayer. I want to be the head coach.
I'm the man.
Is that how it works?
Give me a job.
I wish I held all the records. That's Roenick.
Does he?
When I came back, they were looking for a coach. The AD had called, and I said, yeah, sure, I'll give it a shot. You know, just something to do.
I know, but
it's
something
fun,
to do.
though.
You've been doing it for like how long? Like 10 years?
Yeah, like 10 or 12 years now. Well, all my kids went through the school.
Yeah.
For free.
So when they started going to the school, it was $35,000. This year, I have a sophomore. I have one daughter left. It's 53.
Oh my God!
Whoa!
And what are you paying?
Well, I worked out a little deal, so you don't have to pay.
Wow!
You're like Google me.
Us hockey players always looking for an angle.
No shit.
Always working.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but you say this is a gig to do, man. That's a lot of work, though, and you're committed with the guys, and you want to make it right. So, like, how hard of a job is like? I mean, that's still like a year-round thing that you got to be committed to.
Yeah. It's really not year round. We start up right before U.S. Thanksgiving, and then we end the first week of March. And basically the recruiting starts in September when school starts up, and try to get most of the recruiting done by December. And then, when the hockey season's over in March, you pretty much got a nice little break.
Yeah,
right. Because that Boston accent,
I know I love the Boston accent. Can I borrow that? You just sound tougher.
There's a lot of things I want to borrow with you. Your hair, your accent.
Are you still tough, Tony? If you had to handle yourself,
marshmallow. You kidding me?
Okay, so recruiting though, you have to recruit. Like you've had some like first round picks and stuff. Man. Like you get like real players, but tell me like the prep school schedule is a little bit different because they all play like AAA tournaments too, right? Is that why it's so short?
No, we don't really play against many like U18 teams and stuff. We will play them, but it's basically, we're in a league called the ISL, the Independent School League. We play all the same teams every year. We go to a couple tournaments, which is mostly, ISL teams, and then you got teams like Stansted College from Montreal. They'll play against teams like that. Teams from New Hampshire. So it's a good season. It's 2 to 3 games a week every week, and that's just what we look for. Try to play on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and Sunday's always our off day. So, it is fun. It's fun. The recruiting is probably the worst part of the job. You just, trying to find kids, trying to get kids, and we don't have boarding, so we're a day school. So it's basically, you're looking at a half-hour radius around the school to try to find kids that want to come,
local kids
that can afford it, that can, be eligible for aid, So we do give out a lot of aid, financial aid, but it's need-based. You have to need it and prove that you need it, and it'll happen then.
Tony,
prove
the football and basketball coaches, they don't have to prove shit.
No shit.
They just say, hey, listen, we want you to come. And they give them like scholarships to come to like the most expensive prep
G-Wagons. They give them G-Wagons.
I know. It's so funny, man. So, but they've got to prove it. I get it. Hey, is there pressure that comes with it? Before we move on, is there pressure? And when I was saying AAA tournaments, I mean, a lot of these kids, because a lot of St. Louis kids now, they'll head out east and they'll play prep schools, and some of them may jump on a AAA team too and play some tournaments and stuff like that, because some of the kids do that, don't they?
Absolutely. So what we do is a split season, it's called. So you play with your AAA team from August to November. And then in the end of November, they have the Massachusetts State Tournament to qualify for the Nationals. And the day that ends, the next day, high school hockey starts here. So it's a good timing thing. And then after the season, if you made Nationals or if there's another tournament, you hook back up with your AAA team and go from there. So you're getting a lot of games. There's a lot of hockey around here. As you know, Massachusetts has tournaments every weekend. You could go up and play minor hockey, but for our kids, they probably play. I mean, we play 35 games in the prep school league, and then they probably play another 30 or 40 with their AAA teams.
They all know who you are too, don't they?
Oh yeah.
Well, not anymore. They used to.
Yeah. So. But like you were a legend at the school and now you're coaching there. That's kind of cool, man. So like what else have you been doing though nowadays? I mean, do you pay attention to hockey? Like I look at all these a lot of the former USA guys that you came up with. Some of them are scouting. Some of them are working in management. You got Billy Guerin, who's a GM. Dougie Waite's just like chilling in Florida.
The good old boys.
But he was a coach, probably still getting paid by the Islanders. But did you ever have opportunities to get back in the NHL? And is that something that would ever interest you down the road?
I did, right away, right when I got out of the game, I had a couple opportunities to do like some pro scouting and stuff. But for me, it was more about being home with my two young sons and two daughters and trying to, help out with them and hockey and coach them. So the timing wasn't right. Today, if I was offered a job, I'd get back into it. My youngest daughter's a sophomore in high school. She's only got 2 years left. So, I have been looking for the last few years. I think what I would be good at would be player development. I've put my name in for a few jobs and haven't got them, but, that would be probably the ideal job if I were looking into the pro game.
You're getting one now.
They're getting one
now. Now you're getting one now. I mean, your phone will be ringing tomorrow, Tony, or whenever this drops.
I hope so. Jesus.
Well, you want to get back into it? You want to get back into it, even scouting like that, because you're traveling.
No, he's saying player development.
I know, but you're still gonna have to go scout.
You're
still traveling out the ass, Andy. Like you want to do that?
I don't mind it. Now that my kids, my two boys will be at college, and my daughter, I have one in Northwestern playing lacrosse. Oh, wow. So, if you're out scouting, and I see Keith Kachuk around Boston when his son was here, he made a lot of the games here, and it seemed like he was working as well, watching Brady play on BU. So, I don't mind traveling at all.
Hey, he's just saying he's working, so his flight and hotel is paid for.
No shit.
Okay,
we know what you're doing. Okay, so I'm going to work with both of you too, by the way.
That's what Big Walt's doing. Hey, no, I remember your son Ty. He came to a Blues prospect camp, and great kid. I know. I've got a son named Ty too, Tony.
God.
Man,
you didn't tell him that.
I know. Gretzky does too. So all three of us, man, we all have our.
Tony, he looks like Taylor Hall. It's very, very bizarre. Taylor Hall came in like 6 years ago and did an interview at his house.
But hopefully he'll score more than Taylor Hall is this year.
No shit.
But Ty, does he still have another year of eligibility because of all the stuff that's going down?
Yeah, he's actually got 2 more years now because of this year with the COVID and everything else. So, he's got 2 years of college left. He's going to come back next year and do at least one more and then see what happens after that. But my other son will be coming into BU next year also, so it'd be an opportunity for the boys to play together.
I know. That's got to be so cool. And, of course, you played there too.
Yeah.
Like, when you grew up in Boston, was that a dream of yours? I was reading a story about – and listen, I know, I hear that your dad's a legend, man. All the guys who knew you growing up, they all loved your dad and stuff like that.
Yeah. All your family.
But he wanted you to go to Boston College, right? So how did you end up going to BU?
Well, it's a funny story. I wanted to go to UNH, and at the time they had a coach. It was Coach Cullen. He had just had a heart transplant. He wasn't super healthy. Unfortunately, he did pass away a few years later, and things were just iffy up at UNH. So during the whole process, my father was like, I want you to go to BC because all the guys I grew up with playing, Marty McGinnis, who played for the Islanders, Steve Hines played for the Bruins, a good friend who had passed away, Joe Cleary, played in Chicago a little bit. So all these guys I grew up playing with, they all went to BC, and they all their parents were my father's best friends. So my father said one night, hey, I want you to go to BC. So And it winds up, we go to a hockey tournament up at school up by Marlborough in Massachusetts called St. Mark's. My father had a heart attack right when the game ended. He face planted on the ground, and that's when he said it again. He said, "Make sure you go to BC if I die." Well, Jesus Christ, what the hell am I going to do? I got that hanging over my head, so I actually took my time. I didn't even commit to a school till after my senior year of high school, and hockey was ended, and just decided to go to BU. Just thought it was a good fit. Always wanted to play in the Bean Pod, and BU was coming off some lean years also. They didn't have great teams going into my freshman year, but, you knew they had some good recruits coming in. We had a big freshman class my freshman year. I think there were 8 guys on scholarship. And the following year, Scarlett Chance, Keith Kachuk, had a lot of guys come in. Finnish kid named Peter Ahola played a lot in Los Angeles. So it was a good fit. It was a good fit and a lot of fun.
Okay. All right. You're in campus. You got the mullet going. You're dominating. All the girls are watching. Like, explain being on campus, like walking around with the guys, man. Are you the big dick? Like, you guys walk around, like everybody knows who you are. Are you high-fiving everybody? Are you picking out whoever you want to hang out with? Like, explain it.
Nobody's a bigger dick than Walt. You know what I mean? Big Walt. He's a big swinging dick everywhere he goes. But first night of school, it was my sophomore year, his freshman year. First night, he calls me and says, "Let's go out." I said, "All right." No one else wanted to go out. So he and I go out. We go to this bar in between Boston College and BU. And at 1 o'clock, I look around. I can't find him. I don't know where he is. I walk out of the bar. I leave. I go home. Go check in his room. He's not there. He comes the next morning. A cop drove him back. He came out of the bar. He took a left to go to Boston College instead of taking a right to go to BU. He ended up on the campus of Boston College, sleeping on a street corner. A cop picked him up at like 8 o'clock in the morning, drove him all the way back to BU. That was his first night at school. You knew it was going to just be an unbelievable story with him around each and every time we were hanging out.
Oh my God! You guys must have had so much fun, like because Sean McEachran was there too, man. You had some big names who were playing with you guys. That's got to be the hardest thing. Like when you're at the level that you guys are at, and the NHL is waiting for you. And millions of dollars are waiting for you, but you're having so much fun playing college hockey. Like, how difficult is that to move on, knowing that it's probably the right decision and that you have to,
Yeah, sometimes you have to. You just, you know what I mean? And if the team is calling and they're telling you you're going to come in right away and you're going to play, how do you say no at that point? You know what I mean? So for me, it was, Neil Smith and the Rangers calling and saying, "We're going to sign you." And obviously signing the same day as Doug Wade and, showing up in New York and not knowing what the heck's going on. But, it was a whirlwind. But, like I said, if the team's calling and they want you, it's time to go.
Why were you a 4th-round pick? I don't get that.
Hey, I was a 4th-round pick, by the way. Did you know that?
Who had the better career, you or Cam?
I mean, how did you get passed up? Seriously, how'd that go down? 4th?
I don't know. That's just the way it was. There were some good players that draft. And obviously I played with Roenick, so every scout was there. Yeah. Every game we played. And obviously he was going to be a high pick that year. But, you had Modano. You had a guy like Link Gates that went a lot higher than I did.
That's right. Did you talk to Link Gates went higher than you. That's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. Well, they took Modano in the first, and they took Link Gates in the second, right? Minnesota.
Yeah, he had that
to protect them.
Remember his draft picture had he had 2 black eyes. Looked like Brock Lesnar. Crazy.
Yeah, right around where I was drafted. Recchi was right there. Rob Blake was right after or right before. There was a clump of like 3 or 4 guys, and you're like, holy cow, wow.
Hey, what was Roenick like in high school? Like as a kid, away from the rink. Playing, like, did you guys play on the same line? Like, were you in the same grade? Like, how was that fair? Like,
date the same girl?
Maybe, according to the ESPN commercial, it said so. But I mean, how was that fair? Like, did you guys just like roll through the league and just absolutely crush teams?
Yeah, we had some good teams, but the only year we won was our freshman year. We won the whole thing. We actually beat a team called Avon Old Farms. Brian Leach was the stud on that team that year. He had about 100 points in 30 games. JR wasn't far behind. His freshman year, I have the stats. Obviously, I get my hands on the stats being at Thayer Academy. I think he had 79 points in like 32 games as a freshman at Thayer. He was just a stud when he was young, and he was a lot different than he is now. There was no showtime and no playing it up for the camera. He was all business. Hockey was number one. That was all he wanted to do, was play hockey. And that persona didn't come on until a little later.
Really? Okay, so he goes and scores 5 points in a game, and he's cruising around campus. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go study, guys. I'm sorry, I'm not hanging out tonight." Like, get out of here, dude. I don't fucking believe that.
No,
he's peacocking around like no other.
He was quiet. He was quiet and under the radar, and it was funny because all that mattered was hockey. That's it. That's what I remember of him and being in high school together and playing together. It was hockey was always number one, and now that's all that mattered in his life. And he wanted to get to the show bad.
Hey, I'm curious though. Did all you guys know who each other were? Like growing up in the same area, like in St. Louis, you got all these kids coming out, but they all know each other. I mean, there's only a couple different programs. Boston's a little more spread out. But when you and Roenick, Kachuk, you mentioned LaChance, McEachran, McGinnis, all these guys, Jeez. Do you guys all know each other? Like, do you cross paths at all or no?
Yes, the whole time growing up. And it seemed like there were a group of guys that just always were hanging out. So McEachran's a year older than I am. Kachuk's a year younger, and LaChance. But you played against them every other year because of minor and major, being Pee Wee minor, Pee Wee major. But yeah, you knew all the guys, and especially when you get about the age of 15 and 16, going to U.S. camps, playing with guys like that were memorable. The two guys that stand out in my mind were Mike Modano and a kid named Neil Carnes. Played in Montreal, really high draft pick, passed away, but never really panned out. These were the two big studs the whole time we were growing up, being like, 13, 14, right through 16 years old, the two best players around. And you're right, there wasn't many guys from St. Louis back then.
No, I was the first one. No, Tony, I was the first
Pat
one.
LaFontaine was actually the first.
No. He moved away when he was fucking 7. Doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Hey, I got a good story.
Go ahead.
Big Walt invited us in to play against the Junior Blues. So we're like, yeah, sure, we're coming in there. Oh, his team kicked the shit out of us like 3 times. Oh, my God. And they were good teams. You can name 10 guys in the NHL right now from those teams, but they really beat us up. I think Jeff Brown was coaching as well.
Oh yeah.
So they had some real players, and it's incredible to see the development of players at that rate out of that age level. It was really amazing.
That would have been Brady's team, though, right? Not Matthews.
Yes, exactly.
See, Andy knows all this shit. Andy's in the mix with them.
Because if your son was coming to play, but I mean, because they had Frederick, they had all those guys.
Oh my God,
yes.
They were dominant. And everybody's like, "Why is St. Louis?" I'm like, "Well, why do all these former players live in St. Louis?" I'm like, "Well, they're from Saskatchewan, and why the fuck wouldn't they live here?
Yes,
you're in the
exactly.
States, you're doing your shit, like you're making money, you could build off your name. Like, why wouldn't they live here?"
And Logan Brown was like 6'6" when everybody else was like 5 feet tall.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
The Cam and Strick podcast is brought to you by CarShield. Nothing more frustrating, Cam, than when that engine light comes on and right off the bat, you're going to have to spend thousands of dollars to repair your vehicle. Call 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM or visit carshield.com and use the code CAM to save 10%. Yeah. That's carshield.com. A deductible may apply. Save yourself money. Sign up and get your coverage now with carshield.com. Now back to the interview.
So you're a 4th rounder. You're in New York doing your thing, and you're a young guy playing for an unbelievable organization, unbelievable team. You got superstars out the wazoo. Like, explain that walking in the locker room with the fucking big boys there. Like, where'd you live? You didn't even make enough money to even like really live in a nice part of fucking New York, even at that time. Like, just explain that whole setup, dude. I mean, not even close.
So it's funny. Like when I first went there, they put me up in a hotel out by the practice rink. It used to be Rye Playland, so they put you up in a hotel. So I was in there for probably a month and a half, 2 months, and it was good because Doug Wade had signed the same day. We're in the same boat. Both of us walking in the locker room the first day, just shitting our pants. You know what I mean? You're walking in the New York Rangers locker room and you think you're going to be on the ice. And, oh, geez, I'll tell you what, there was some serious nerves. I remember my father drove me down and dropped me off the practice rink. I was like, I think I'm going to get back in the car and go home with him. Jesus Christ, this is brutal. But, it was fine. The guys were welcoming. And, it was the end of the year. They were getting ready for playoffs. So it was nice to just get your foot in the door, skate for a few weeks, and then get a couple games in the end of the year.
Yeah, and you score 35 goals your rookie year. I mean, and you're
is that good, Andy?
I know.
I don't know.
And you're playing with, Messier, Adam Graves in the same line. Like, how were those guys with you specifically? Were they good with you on the ice, off the ice? They take you out? Like, break down that dynamic.
Yeah, it's intimidating, So we played the first game of the season. Bernie Nichols got traded after that for Mess. And then Mess came in and the whole change started happening in New York. And I have no idea, talking to Mark Messier, I watched this guy hoist the Stanley Cup over his head in Boston 2 years before with the Edmonton Oilers. I was in the building. I was front row in the balcony watching them win the Stanley Cup in Boston. So, 2 years later, I'm getting put on a line with he and Adam Graves. And, what do you say to Mark Messier? I have no idea. You know what I mean? I just waited. And when he said something, I need you to go here. I need you to get me the puck. And I think the first game, I probably looked him off 2 or 3 times. And he gives me the nod on the bench. He goes, give me the puck. Give me the puck.
See, Andy,
Don't look me off. Don't look me off. So, I just knew, hey, you give him the puck, you get to the open space and he'll get it back to you. But, he was in his prime too. He was an incredible leader on the ice and off the ice. At the time, obviously, Dougie and I were young kids, single. Mess was still single at the time. Leachy was right there with him. And, yeah, they were a lot of fun to hang around with, that's for sure.
What was Mess like, though, when you went out? Like, did you guys... When he went places, did he walk in the room first? Like, okay, I'm organizing this stuff. Okay, we need this over here. We do this over there. Okay, everybody sit down. Da, da, da. Like, was he just the man?
The man. Everywhere he went. And you're exactly right. Let him walk in first and just follow right along in his coattails. But, yeah, it seemed like he went from not knowing New York to being an absolute stud in New York and being able to open any door he wanted immediately when he walked into New York, promising them the Stanley Cup and delivering on that promise is a pretty big feat. And he's for sure a legend off the ice, on the ice. He definitely has an electric personality. You know what I mean? People seem to be drawn to him.
Did he bang Paris Hilton? Because not that she's that hot, but I just want to know because if
it was Madonna, man.
Madonna, you're exactly right.
It was Madonna.
Oh, you fucked Madonna.
He would play the voicemail. All I got was like a voicemail. Hi, Mark. It's Madonna. Do you want to go out tonight? I'm like, Jesus Christ. What the hell is going on here? But just funny stuff.
Wow. Can't make that up. Hey, that's a first. That's a first on the podcast. I like that little Madonna reference. Good for her. Hey, before we move on to Keenan, and feel free to crush him because Holy just did. I mean,
did Keenan bang Madonna?
hey, if he did, that'll break the internet, maybe, if Mike Keenan and Madonna hooked up. But before we get into that, Roger Nielsen, was he good with you? Because, he coached here, and he's like a legend in hockey circles. People love him around here.
I like Roger. He was a great guy. There was nothing else but hockey for him. I mean, he would call me up at like 3 PM. And come on over. I want to show you some video. So he was the first guy that really got into video and X's and O's for me. Any coach at any level, he was the first guy that really got into that stuff. And, he lived at that rink in Rye and Playland. He was there all day, all night. He and his dog, Mike, they seemed to be there whenever you were in there. And a guy that was really dedicated to the game, and couldn't be more opposite from a coach like Mike Keenan.
Oh my God! All right, so and Roger Nielsen, he worked under Joe Quenneville here in St. Louis. Towards when Joel first came here. All right, so Keenan, so he brings you into his office. I can only imagine how many times he did that. And so what's the story? He had all the players written on a whiteboard, and he ranked you among the other players. Like, take it from there.
Yes, you're exactly right. So you got Messier at the top, Adam Graves 2, Esa Tikkanen 5. Yeah. And then you go down the line and, Sergei Nemchinov, and they just keep going and going. And he's like, I got you at the bottom. I'm on at the bottom of the list. And he says, hey, stand up. So I stand up. He goes, go over to the board. Tell me where you think you should be. And I'm like, fuck. Is this a trick question? But I think I should be maybe right here, right under. I'm pointing under Messier between Messier and Graves 1 and 2. He's like, fuck no, sit the fuck down. You're just a rich fucking prick from Boston. Your family just gives you everything. You're a private school bitch. And basically I said, fuck you. You know nothing about me, my family, my father, how much money we never had when I was growing up. I said, you're a fucking asshole. And that was the last straw when he brought my father up and saying I'm a rich kid. Fuck, we didn't have 2 nickels to put together when I was growing up. I used to beg my father for a quarter to run to the store and get like a piece of bubble gum. But, he just assumed that he knew everything about everyone. And that's why he's a dick.
He thought you were a goddamn fancy lad and you weren't.
Yes.
And he called your family out.
Yes. My father. He brought up my father, and that was the end. So, when I eventually get traded, at the deadline, the 94 when they win the cup, and then, I go on, and then someone asked me about Mike Keenan. I'm like, he's the worst fucking coach I ever played for. He didn't coach. He would come in, he would motherfuck guys up and down, and then he would leave, and then Mess would get up, go to the board and say, all right, we got to get this on the PP. We got to do this, this, and this. We got to do this, and fucking forecheck. You got to do this. It was incredible. It was fucking incredible. Never an X and O, never a system, never anything. All he tried to do was fuck with guys' heads.
Oh my God! Listen, you collaborate like what everybody else says too. A lot of these guys.
He just said the same
because
thing.
He would just abuse Chris Pronger when he first came into the league as well. So did you know you were on your way out? Did you know like, hey, he's not keeping me?
Yes. Yeah, I knew like towards the end, I kind of knew it was coming. There was a lot of rumblings out there, and the day before I got traded, I get a call from Roenick. Roenick says, hey, you're coming to Chicago. You're wearing number 10. I said, whoa, JR, whoa, slow down. We were on our way flying up to Calgary to play them the next day. That was trade deadline day. He's like, sit by the phone. You'll be here. So I'm sitting by the phone, just wait for the next day. Noontime rolls around, which is 3 Eastern. And I finally get a call from Neil Smith. He says, come on up. We traded you. So I wasn't surprised. I kind of knew it was coming, and I knew that Keenan, it just couldn't work. It just couldn't work. And he tried to do the same thing with Adam Graves. And it was funny to me to watch the whole thing play out because he was doing it to Adam Graves, and, Gravy's still on a line with Mess, and he's motherfucking him up and down. So there's a face-off right in front of the Rangers bench. It's the second period. So the left wings are right in front of the bench. I can't remember who the guy was, but Gravy, they dropped the puck. Gravy drops his gloves, grabs the guy playing right wing on the other team, and just beats the tar out of him. Beats him up bad. Punching. He probably threw 50 punches. Throws the guy down. Now he's standing right in front of the bench. He turns to the bench, points at Keenan and says, you're fucking next, asshole. And he skates off to the penalty bench. Keenan never said another word to him.
Oh my God.
Never said another word to him.
Sit down.
Yes. Would this be like an everyday occurrence? Like he's just going toe to toe with players?
Dude.
Often. Yes, quite often.
Was Mess like losing his mind in the locker room? Like, okay, guys, settle down. Look, he's a fucking tyrant. Let's chill. We're in this together. I'm in control. Like that kind of thing.
Yes, Mess ran that team, and then the funniest part of all is when Mess was ready to go. If he's sitting on the bench, he would turn his head. He would look at Keenan. Messier's line, you're up. every fucking time. All Mess would do was turn his head, look at him, and it'd put Mess's line out there whenever he wanted to go.
Wow.
Well, he tried that in Vancouver and it didn't work.
Apparently he tried that in Vancouver too. He pissed guys off. Well, I mean, Gino Oja came on several months ago. I mean, probably a year ago, but he came on and said, hey, it wouldn't even be his turn to go out there, and he would just hop over the boards and just like go in front of guys. Like you'd be like, okay, I'm next, and then all of a sudden he just hops over the boards. But man, that's crazy. I mean, because he did that to Gretzky too, man. I mean, they trade for Gretzky and he doesn't even re-sign, with St. Louis. Time to talk a little bit about Daredevil hockey, the ultimate in performance plus protection. Daredevil is a lightweight compression-based layer designed with Kevlar cut-resistant fabric overlays that protects all the vulnerable areas of the upper and lower body from skate lacerations. Get yours now. www.daredevilhockey.com. Use that promo code Cam and Strick. You'll save 25%. Now back to the interview. Let's go. Do you think Roenick, Roenick, you think Roenick, I know he's your boy from back in high school and everything, did he orchestrate the trade between Chicago and New York? Did he help that out?
I think he might have talked to Bob Pulford for a little bit about the trade, and my name was out there, obviously. So he definitely had something to do with bringing me to Chicago.
And this is when JR started to get comfortable with himself, I'm guessing, right? Like you said, he's in high school, like, oh yeah, I'm normal. No, then he goes to Chicago, and then he starts like, oh, okay, I could run the show here. Like
I can make money from being a personality.
Were you guys having a blast up there? Not to mention, both of you guys were so fun to watch. Like you had your fucking shit tucked in your skates. You had your goddamn mullet. You're 10-2 in every month. Get on. How fun was that in Chicago with you two? Good God.
A lot of fun. It was incredible. Yeah. They were good teams. And I love playing for Daryl Sutter. I thought he was a great guy on and off the ice. And, he's a little crazy on the bench once in a while. But Daryl, he's always you always know he cares about you. So playing for him was a lot of fun too in Chicago. And, obviously we had good teams, Chelios and Gary Suter, Steve Smith, Belfour and Ned. Had some real characters on that club, that's for sure.
Explain being a star in Chicago versus being a star in New York, though.
Ooh.
Like
two big markets.
Oh, yeah.
You're lucky.
And Chicago is such a fun city. Is there any comparison or no?
I like for me, I wasn't a celebrity or a star or anything. I was more of a piece of the puzzle in New York, and you're young. You really don't know anything about the NHL, and you don't know how you should really do it. Going to Chicago, a little bit older, and being able to get out there and the city of Chicago, they treat their athletes so well, and they love hockey, and it's just an incredible place to play and to live.
Was it tough to go to Chicago and watch New York win the Stanley Cup just a few months later? Like, how difficult was that for you?
Absolutely difficult. It was tough, but you know what? I still had a lot of friends on the team and guys I really liked and wanted them to win. And I remember back, it was, I don't know, was it game 6 against Jersey in the conference final? My brother calls me, he says, what do you think? I said, Rangers are done. So I think he put a little money on the Devils to win that game. And then the next morning it comes out in the paper, Mark Messier guarantees the victory. Mess went out there, got the hat trick. They won game 6. They won game 7. They go to the Stanley Cup. So, it was a great run for them, and, for me, I knew Stefan Matteau and I knew Brian Noonan. I knew both guys, what I mean, that I got traded for. And, Noontime being a Boston guy, I was happy for him to win.
Yeah, no, you kind of understand that with those two big boys getting in there and they kind of did their thing. But, okay, you're playing in Chicago, though. Like, good for you, by the way. You're in New York City. You get your name built. Now you go to Chicago, which is just another gigantic town, but a little bit different. But you're playing with Bob Probert, though. When Proby get there, did you get to know him? Everybody wants to know about Bob Probert. Like, were you friends with him? Like, explain how.
Very good friends. I was a pallbearer, carried his casket.
Yep.
just a great person, great guy. And I had almost had more fun with Proby off the ice because he would talk to anyone. We'd go anywhere we would go. He would find someone, talk to him, make a new friend. Just so not the personality that I thought it was going to be, coming in after watching him for so many years in Detroit. But I think it was my second year in Chicago. He had signed, so he was gone that whole year in rehab, and then he came in the next year. We're still very friendly with Danny, his wife, and know the kids, and we go to his motorcycle ride every year. It's been canceled last year and this, unfortunately, but I still enjoy going out there and seeing the family and everything. But Proby was he was incredible. He was just a amazing guy. We would rent motorcycles every time we'd go to Arizona. So we'd go way up north in Arizona. He knew where all these bars were. He knew everything.
Did he walk in those
every
bars?
bike I hang out,
Hey, you would probably go to Jerome, Arizona. That's where
Andy,
all the bikers hang out there. There's it's legendary, man. There's biker bars there.
Proby probably walked in those bars.
I went to college in Northern Arizona, man. I know those spots over there.
Awesome.
But you mentioned his wife, Danny. And listen, there's a whole generation of hockey fans who never got to watch Bob Probert play, man. You feel bad for those guys. But the documentary that came out, how realistic was it? Did it portray Bob Probert the way that you knew him? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so his wife, I think, finished off that documentary. Bob was working on it for quite a while, and she was able to get in there and I think finish the last third of the movie for him. But I think it was very accurate, and, the end of Bob's life, from what Danny has said is, he wasn't feeling great. You know what I mean? He knew he had something going on, and he knew he wasn't feeling that great. But he's like, this is how Proby is. I'll go to the doctor in September. I'll wait till October. I'll go to the doctor. That's just how Proby was. That's how he lived his life. I would be with him in Chicago, and he would say, I got to go get my bike. And I'm like, all right, where's your bike? It's in Windsor. He'd get in his car. He'd drive to Windsor. He'd leave the car. He'd get on his bike, his Harley. He'd ride back overnight. You know what I mean? 3 a.m, riding a bike from Windsor back to Chicago, a 5 or 6 hour ride. That's just the kind of guy he was, just very impulsive and just, lived life to the fullest. He was an incredible guy off the ice. And I was very fortunate to get to play with him and to become a friend of his.
What was it like? Just explain how he was. He's such a good dude, and he's such an enigma for all of us tough guys. Anytime we bring up Proby, everybody just wants to jump on it. But explain on the bench how he was, man, because he's so different than what you are on the ice. Did he have that? Did he have that shark look in his eye where it's all of a sudden he turns into a different character when he's on the bench and he does his stuff on the ice? Explain to him on the ice and how he, played the game.
He did. He was a good player. He you know what I mean? You put him out there with some, a good center and another wing. He's going to do his job. He's going to get the puck back. He's going to be able to forecheck for you. He's going to put some guys on their asses. He was a good player. I think when I began playing with him, he didn't want to fight as much. You know what I mean? He just wasn't. He did. He had proved that he was a tough guy, and all these young guys would come in the league, and of course, they have to ask him to go and they have to try to fight him. But, Proby would oblige. But I don't think he wanted that as much anymore. I think he wanted to try to be a player, towards the end. And we had some tough teams in Chicago. We didn't win a lot of games, but we had some tough teams. Vandenbush and Cam Russell and Rico Ciccone. 1 year, I think we had 5 or 6 heavyweights. I think it was Dirk Graham was coaching at the time. We were loaded with tough guys and guys that would go out there and fight. Not necessarily always win like my buddy Jimmy Cummins, but, he'd go out there and himself.
Yeah.
He'd go toe-to-toe. He did many times. I mean, I played with him the first 2 years. He didn't want to fight.
He's a college guy, though, dude. What do you expect?
Yes.
He's not a junior.
Yes,
he's not
exactly.
a WHL guy fucking grinding for 4 years. This is what it is.
You had random coaches, though. You mentioned Dirk Graham. I think Dennis Savard was one of your coaches at one point. At least he was an assistant.
So funny, man.
How do you reflect on your time in Chicago? Because you had some great years. Like when you were Roenick, you mentioned Belfour. I'd love to hear some Belfour stories too. But then you had some like lean years where you were like basically all they had. You were still making all-star teams and scoring goals, but the team wasn't having success. How tough was that for you?
It was hard. It was hard, especially on a team that's supposed to be in the playoffs every year. You're expected to be there. We had some really tough years, and then they bring in a coach named Alpo Suhonen. I don't know if you guys remember him coming in to coach, but that was a disaster. He was a Finnish guy, just an absolute disaster. Pulford took over in the end of the year. That was crazy. I think the last good teams we had were under Craig Hartsburg, who was a good coach at the time. But it sucked. Being there and not making the playoffs was very difficult. And I'm sure it's very similar to the St. Louis Blues. You're expected to be there every year. Like you need to at least make a push every year and get it going and be in the playoffs and do that. But we had, I think it was 5 years, maybe 5 years at the end of my run in Chicago where we didn't make it.
I know.
But the city's still fun, though.
Yeah, exactly.
To go out and get a good steak.
You had Brian Sutter as a coach, too, right? And Daryl Sutter. I think you played with Rich Sutter.
Oh, jeez.
Like, what's it like playing with a guy whose brother's on the roster? Like,
you're related to everybody.
What's that like?
So Brent was the captain when I got to Chicago, and Darryl was the coach. So Darryl would come in the locker room and say all kinds of shit, and then he would leave, and Brent would say, "Fuck him! Don't listen to him." Just incredible. And then, on Christmas, he'd be like, "Yeah, we're going over to his house for dinner." I'm like, Jesus Christ, these guys are crazy. Yeah, and Richie was there too as well at one point. But yeah, played for Brian. Brian was an intense guy. Brian was, man, oh God, he was turned on at 5 o'clock on a game day. You couldn't even walk in the locker room. You wanted to get to the locker room as late as possible because if you bumped into him, he'd give you a 20-minute speech, and he'd have this thing where he'd put his two fingers together and he'd always tap you in the chest.
Oh,
and he didn't know how strong he was. He was a strong old guy. He was in good shape. He'd tap you in the chest every time he made a point. He would tap you in the chest. It was pretty funny, but good guys, good family, and oh my God, crazy.
They spread like wildfire back in the day. They're everywhere.
They're
They're part of
everywhere.
Everything. So it's like, what do you do? But they're all great. We just had
we had Brian.
We had Brian on the other day. He was so hardcore.
Time to talk about our boy Dan Bellman. Ooh. Bellman.com. That's with two N's, not one. BEHLMANN.com. Hey, check out the new inventory. Check out the pre-owned vehicles. You looking for a Chrysler, a Dodge, a Jeep, or Ram? How about a Cadillac or a Buick GMC? All in Troy, Missouri. Get your new wheels in time for the winter. Now back to the interview.
Okay. 96. You with Team USA. You guys have the coolest team, not the best, like the coolest team in the world. Like, here's my question for you. We're going to get into the games, and Andy's going to ask you actually legit questions. But I want to know where you sat on that bus, right? Meaning, like, where were you? You were a fucking big dick at the time, but, like, you had all the big boys on there. So, like, explain the
front of the bus.
The dynamic.
The dynamic on, like, who's the big boy,
the pecking
who's not.
order.
The pecking order. What do you got?
Well, I think the big boys were Modano, and then you had Lychee, you had Chelly. Those are the guys that were kind of like the ringleaders, Mike Richter, and then you had another group. You had another pot of guys. You had the two Hatcher brothers, and you had Sean Chambers. They would each go out every night and drink about 24 beers each.
We had Hatch on.
Fucking awesome. Love
and
him.
Shelly.
Love him.
Oh my God, just incredible. Like oh my God, those guys, they never stopped. But, great guys. Like you said, it was a lot of characters on that team and a lot of personalities. And obviously, Big Walt and Billy Guerin and
Holy.
Holly. I mean, Holly is just.
What was he doing? What was he doing? When you walked on the bus, everybody waits for Holly. Holly comes on last, and he fucking barks orders. Like, what? Explain that.
I love it. I loved watching him. I just thought it was the greatest thing. I would sit in the locker room right by the stick rack, and he would walk by the stick rack, and he'd pick up like Brian Smolinski's stick and be like, "This fucking stick! How do you even shoot with this stick?" And then he'd go to the next guy. Dougie, wait, what the fuck? How do you even pass the puck with this stick? This stick sucks. I would just sit there and laugh the whole time. He was just a comedy show the whole time, and funny to be around. And what I say to everybody is, Brett Hull was the best passer I ever played with in practice.
Really?
No one can believe me, but he could make any pass he wanted at any time to anybody. And him and Medano would whip that puck around in practice. I'd be like, what the fuck is going on here? Taking slap shots at each other. They're scooping them up. They're shooting them in the back of the net. I'm like, these guys, this is just a different level. Just incredible.
Well, everybody's fixated on them, man. So like, I'll make a pass between your legs because you're worried about me shooting. I get that game because I do it in alumni skates. Hey, hey, Tony, what about the big L? What about Lou? How was Lou with all the big boys? Because I played for him for a long time. I'm just telling you, like, explain how he was with the guys.
Incredible. He was incredible in those tournaments. I think it was a lot different than an NHL regular season. Mm-hmm. We'd want to go to dinner and hand the credit card over to Chelios and say, take the boys out. You know what I mean?
Really?
He was very hands-off. I never saw him that much.
Wow.
Which is incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, I love hearing that. And I'm not surprised to hear that because, again, a short tournament, a bunch of Hall of Fame superstars, whatever.
What about your – did you have to shave? Did you have to tuck your jersey in? Like, was he –
He never said a word. Never said a word. The only time he ever said anything was in Nagano, Japan. He came in after we lost, and he said, hey, everybody, don't fuck up tonight. We just get home tomorrow, and we'll go on from there. And obviously – that never happened.
Yeah. What did happen? Like, what can you say about what happened?
I'll be the first one to be honest. The whole time during the tournament, guys were sitting in the chairs in the rooms, and they would just blow up and break, and it would be just a pile of rubble on the ground, and you just pick up like 6 pieces of wood and take them out and put them in the hallway. So by the end of the tournament, there were no chairs left in the room. All you had to do was sit on your bed. You couldn't even – there was not a chair. You couldn't sit in the living room. It was kind of like a dorm room, living room. But there was nothing there. And some guys took down the partitions between like a bedroom and the living room. They just took them down and put them outside the room. So nothing really happened. They just kind of figured, oh, these guys had lost and, shit's happening. And we go to their rooms and their rooms are all destroyed and everything's taken apart. Nothing really happened that night at all.
Are you staying in a hotel or the Olympic Village?
Village. And it's like a college dorm. So you're staying with 4 guys. You walk in, there's a little common living room. And then on either side, there's a bathroom and like 2 bedrooms. But it's fake walls. They're like fake walls.
Partitions.
Yes, a partition. They just brought it in. So some guys like Walt and Billy Guerin and Dougie Waite, they took all the partitions down in the whole room. So it was like one big room they were sleeping in. It sucked. We never ate there. After the first night, Lou's like, you can't eat here anymore. Well, I'll just set up every meal. And from then on out, we went out of the village and would eat lunch, would eat dinner, and then would come back and just sleep there basically.
All right, but we got to remind people though that you scored the game-winning goal, and like, where does that rank among your hockey achievements, memories, and like how big a deal was that, man? I mean, I'm watching the highlight. Gretzky's on the ice. You got all these like just absolute legends in that game. That had to be just incredible hockey to play in.
Incredible. Yeah, that's probably the highlight of my career. Looking back now, not being able to win a Stanley Cup or even get to a cup game or. That's probably the biggest game, and it was, very unexpected. Obviously, after losing game 1 in Philly and then having to go up to Montreal to try to win 2 games in a row, it seemed like an impossibility at the time. We did get a little hope after game 2 and then just ran with it.
So when you're playing in Chicago, Roenick leaves. And listen, he slashes you in the face. He gets 5 games for it. What was that all about? Why did he do that? And then he's barking at you when you're getting off the ice and you're all bloodied. Like, how did that impact your guys' relationship moving forward?
It hurt our relationship bad. Obviously, you get slashed two-handed in the face, and get split open and you're bleeding. And, unfortunately for me, my parents were at the game. They happened to be in town. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it was a tough time, but during that game, it's the funniest thing. After the first period, we're playing, I think he's with Winnipeg, right? Or Phoenix. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's with Phoenix. After the first period, Zamnoff, we're in the locker room. Alex Zamnoff was playing center, incredible hockey player. Yeah. He comes over to me and says, "Hey, Tony, keep your head up. I think Roenick's trying to fucking kill you. It seems like when you're on the ice, he's fucking following you around. He's going to take your fucking head off." And I said, "What? What are you talking about, Al?" And he goes, I don't know. I'm watching him and he's targeting you. He's going to get you. He's going to get you. And I'm like, I don't know, Al. You're crazy. So this is the first shift of the second period. I get that puck and I head over the blue line and he two-hands me, across the face. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? But, come to find out, it was just, he was having some issues off the ice and, things weren't well with him. And I don't know. It just seemed like I was the guy that was there, from what he says. And, it just happened. So, look, we let bygones be bygones. We're good friends. You know what I mean? And let it go.
So you still talk today?
Oh, all the time.
Okay.
All the time.
Well, I did the Andy the other day, and I wasn't even that mad at him, but I elbowed him in the head, and I'm like, I'm sorry about that.
Listen.
And we're going to put it on video.
Tony, my head hit the glass so hard, honestly. Like
he doesn't wear shoulder pads and limb skates, which I invite him out to.
Right through the glass. Right through the glass. So, okay, so how do you look at things now? Like, I mean, you had a great career. You played in Philly, too, which people may not remember, but you played for Hitch. Like, were you and Hitch on the same page? Like, how do you look at Hitch?
I mean, I didn't mind him. You know what I mean? He wasn't my favorite person. I like a coach that could actually come up to your kids and say hello. Hey, how are you? A guy like Daryl Sutter, he says every day when I would go in the locker room, Daryl Sutter, bring your kids to the rink, make sure they get on the ice. Hitch wouldn't even look at your kid. He'd probably step on him or spit on him or, say hello to your wife at a Christmas party. Never. There's nothing personal. You know what I mean? And that's just how Hitch was. We had more fun making fun of Hitch the whole time we were in Philly. I don't know if you've ever seen him get on the ice. Have you guys ever seen him try to get on the ice? Oh, yeah. You got to get the one step down off of the, over the thing to get down. He couldn't get on the ice. I would sit there and Todd Fedoruk would make fun of him and do it and skate like him. I would absolutely cry on the ice every time because they're sitting there making fun of Hitch. But we had a good team that year in Philly. We lost to Tampa in the Game 7 of the East Conference Final. The year Tampa won it against Calgary. And Hitch is a good coach. Really good with X's and O's, but the personal side just wasn't great.
Well, we just had him and we had Babcock on, and Hitch was golfing with him, and then by the end of the interview, Hitch stopped it and yelled at Andy and told him to go fuck himself, and they were never call again or something like that. Like
he grabbed the phone from Babcock.
Really?
Oh yeah,
go listen to that.
He grabbed it. Well, he was joking, but I mean, he grabbed the phone from Babcock, who was absolutely crazy.
You guys need to shut the fuck up. I'm trying to fucking golf.
Oh,
okay.
Jesus Christ, you just reminded me of him with that speaking like him. Dang, Jesus Christ. The worst part about Hitch in Philly was at the practice rink, you had to come in the back. And when you came in the back, you had to walk past the coach's office.
Oh man.
Yes.
Sucks, dude.
You had
every day.
Go ahead. Finish. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Every day after a game, he'd be in there watching the game. He would leave the game in Philly. He'd drive to the practice rink. He would sit there for 3 hours, watch the game, break down the tape. Then he'd be back there at 6 a.m. watching the film again. You'd come in for practice. Hey, Tony, can you come in and watch these fucking clips with me? I'm like, oh, my God, jeez. Right.
Tony, it sounds like fucking
I love it.
Carmela Soprano. Tony, come in here.
Hey, you had a long like Iron Man streak though going. I don't know how many games, how long it got to, but did you ever like play through like any serious like excruciating injuries to keep that alive?
Nothing serious. You know, once in a while my knee would like blow up. I had it scoped a few times and stuff. Once in a while it would blow up and, you know, take some anti-inflammatories and ice the shit out of it to try to keep it going. But it's kind of funny how my streak ended. I was in, we were in Minnesota playing for Phoenix, and oh my God, I'm on a line with Darcy Hordichuk.
Oh boy.
In practice, if you can fucking believe it.
Oh yeah.
So the two of us go behind, we're like doing a regroup drill or whatever, breaking out, and we both go behind the net. He fucking lays me out. We're on the same fucking line in practice. And I feel something in my rib. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, my rib doesn't feel great. I don't know what happened. So the next night, go to the game. I get hit on like the first shift and my rib just goes crack. I could barely get up. That was it. That was it for the streak. Broken rib. See you later.
My God.
Shit.
Hey, before we let you go, I want to know about how you grew up though. Like, cause you grew up, you mentioned like, you know, your dad didn't have a lot of money. Your family didn't have a lot of money.
But everybody thinks you do.
But you and your brother both like played hockey. You obviously had a great career. So like, what should people know about how you grew up in your home life?
So we grew up in a town called Hingham, Mass, which is a pretty wealthy town, but we were on the west side, down where all the Italians lived. They called it the Guinea Gulch, and they still do. So we lived down in that area. So when we were young, my father used to go to the local hockey rink and say, "Hey, I'll drive the Zamboni. I'll make the ice. Will you let us come in at like 5 a.m? Because their first booking wasn't until 6. So my father would come in, they gave him a key, open the rink. My brother and I would go skate 5 a.m, get other kids to come and skate, things like that. My father would make the ice after, so the Zamboni driver wouldn't have to do it. And, you know, that's how we kind of got into hockey. My father enjoyed hockey, but never played it. He was a football player in high school and things like that, and never really skated, but, you know, really enjoyed hockey. And, you know, through that, my father ended up working at the rink. My father had a few heart attacks, so he really wasn't a full-time worker at the time. He'd go to the rink, help out, do some things, sharpen skates for the disco night. So that's how we started getting ice when we were young kids, and then started playing from there on out.
I saw a great interview with him. I love how he said he could know what type of game you'd have based on warm up, if you were hitting the net or not. That's awesome.
No shit.
And then, okay, last thing for me though.
Yeah, let's this poor guy
NCAA
go.
championship game. Like you guys lose in triple overtime. But what's the story? Like you had the breakaway and like the bench is yelling, but you actually had more time. If you could just if they wouldn't have yelled, maybe you would have gotten a little closer to the goaltender or what?
Exactly. We're playing Northern Michigan. I remember the goaltender. His name was Billy Pye. Played a little bit professionally, but I didn't think I had enough time to get all the way in and try to deke the goalie or try to get. So I was probably inside the top of the circle, maybe around the dots, and everybody's yelling shoot. So I shoot the puck and he puts his glove down. This is when goalies used to stand up, you know what I mean? And he snow cones the puck. It's half in his glove, half out, and the buzzer goes off. So I had a good opportunity to win it with no time left, but just was unable to. But you know, when a game is 8-7, you know there's not a lot of great goaltending going on. We changed our goalie 3 times.
Oh my God, 8-7.
Way to bring that up, Andy.
7-7. Well, how come nobody could score in overtime? Jesus, it's 7-7 going into overtime.
No, kick the puck in, will you?
Incredible that went that long.
Oh my God,
Tony, you were awesome, dude.
Yeah, appreciate it.
When so it's so funny. Real quick before you go, like Andy and I discuss who we're having on. And we go through different people, and then Andy brings up, he goes, "What about Tone Amonte?" I go, "Oh my fucking A, get this guy! Oh my God, we love you, man."
Yeah.
So just
Thanks,
so you
buddy.
know, dude, we appreciate it.
I
man.
met you
You're
during the
man.
Stanley Cup final. I don't know if you
Don't
remember.
bore him.
Hey,
Don't fucking bore him. Stop it.
We were
Which
talking.
one, St. Louis?
Yeah, St.
Boston?
Louis. Remember I sat next to you. We were talking about the Kachucks.
Yeah.
You said Kachuk's mom would have all the kids from BU over and make them breakfast and stuff like
Every
that.
night.
Or dinner.
You're
Gary,
the man,
every
dude.
Sunday they'd be over there.
I
Great
love it.
family.
We love the
Great
Boston
family.
boys. We love the Boston boys. Tony, you're the man, dude. Thank you again, buddy.
All the best, man.
See you, dude.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Right on.
Appreciate
Good
it.
luck with everything. See you, buddy.
Take care.
Bye.
All right, that was Tone Amonte here on the Cam and Strick podcast, man. How awesome is that, dude?
Dude, he's awesome. He was awesome when he played. He was exactly how I thought he was going to be, man. Down to earth, cool as shit. Just like all those fucking 90s players are. I mean, Hatch, the JR, the fucking, all those cool cats, man. They're all just cool. They did it hard. They had a hard fucking run growing up in the 80s in the Western leagues and shit like that. I know he played college, but just like, they're all just cool. And he delivered, man. Cool. I want to hang out with him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, he did, man. And no surprise, he and Probert were good buddies, man. He used to hang together. I love the Probert stories. I know you do too.
Oh, everybody does. Everybody wants to know more about Proby. How he again, dude. He's such a God. I don't know what the word is for it, but everybody wants to know about Bob Probert, more about him, more about how he was, more about maybe his inner demons and how he fought and did everything all fucking day, all night long, fight. Good God. And his tragic ending and things like that. So he's a popular guy that people want to know about. So it's good to talk about him.
Yeah, and Tony was a pallbearer in the funeral, man. So it gives you an idea how tight they were.
They ride bikes, all that. Dude,
Oh, yeah.
See, that's another. They all fucking ride Harleys. They're just cooler. I'm sorry. 90s players are just the coolest, man. I don't know what it is.
Have you ever ridden a Harley?
No, Andy, I don't play that game. Nope.
No.
I don't play that game. I told you, dude, I'm a boat guy. I'll do side-by-sides. I like to be outdoors and shit like that. I don't do the Harley shit. I don't like when I'm around people on Harleys. When I'm driving, I get the fuck away from people on motorcycles. I don't like it. It scares the fuck out of me.
Yeah, man.
I don't do it.
The risk, man, is just too high for me, dude. I'm not a big motorcycle guy. Although I could ride some Harleys.
Andy, I was going to say, Andy, can I say this?
Hold on.
We know why
I could do it.
Harley.
Okay.
No. You wouldn't even be able to hold the fucking handle. You wouldn't even hold that fucking thing up, dude. You wouldn't even be able to hold that thing up. So no, you're not riding a Harley.
What do they call it? A chopper, the big one, the big chopper. That's what I would have.
Hey, Harley Davidson should sponsor us. And I want to see you on that goddamn Harley I want to see if you could even do it. Because Andy, I'll tell you, I'm a pussy. I'm scared on those things, dude. I hit a fucking pothole, especially when your girl's on the back, and no way. It's cool looking, dude. I would, if I was cool, I would have no shirt on, fucking badass, no helmet, badass glasses, flying fucking chopper with the girl on the back, doing it with the blonde hair flying in the back. I would look sexy as shit. I'm just not doing it.
But Roenick was unbelievable. I mean, to have him as a high school teammate, but now Amonte's back coaching at the high school where he went to high school, man. High school hockey's big up in Massachusetts. You know that. The prep school, it's not like high school hockey everywhere else in the country. Prep school hockey out east is different level, you know?
It's good. It's good. He'd be an awesome coach, man.
It's like high school hockey in Minnesota. They got the hockey hair video that's out. I love how they get into that, man. And they give back to charity too. Like it's become like a big fundraiser.
Yeah, no, they're cool as shit about that. Those all high school hockey guys, man. They have a good time. They run the show at the school. You know, that'd be pretty cool. It's like playing juniors. Although I'd rather play juniors than high school hockey because like you're in high school still and everybody's like, oh, you still got to go to school and shit. Where in juniors, they don't give a fuck. You're just like, do whatever the hell you want. So there's a little bit of a difference there.
Yeah, probably so, man. But they packed the house for that tournament, and this year, obviously, they couldn't do that. So I feel bad for those kids in Minnesota, but I'm glad they still had the tournament, got the tournament on. So anyway, so that was Tone Amonte, dude. People are going to love that. There's no doubt about it. I love how Brody threw out the other day some suggestions, man. I appreciate the suggestions from all the listeners. So we take that to heart, dude, because some of these guys I don't think of. In fact, a couple of them, I'm not going to say who. I was like, damn, I hadn't thought of him, and I reached out, and so we're going to get a couple of these guys on, man. So we appreciate.
There's about 500 comments, by the way. 500. There's more comments for that than my fucking wedding picture.
Yeah,
on Facebook. So that just showed.
Or your Easter egg hunt where Kate's passed out and you're putting chew. You're putting like
I'm such a Hoosier.
Skull chew inside these Easter eggs, like an absolute
the poor girls.
Hoosier.
They're still sleeping. They're probably taking off the whole week of school because they're probably like, I can't move. He made me work too hard. What, they got money? Hey, they got money though, but they're poor girls. Poor girls couldn't even trek across my yard.
Yeah, I thought maybe you put a couple Blue Chews in there too.
And I ruined everybody. Oh hell no, I'm not wasting those on them. What's the fucking point of that? Those are my babies.
All right, Car Shield's our baby too, man. Again, mention the promo code CAM. You're going to save 10%. You never know when something's going to go down. Hey, customize the package the way that you want it. That's the bottom line. Customize it. You want long-term, fine, short-term, whatever, man. However you want it, dude. See Ice-T doing the commercials, man. Yeah. I mean, CarShield's got it going on in a big way. CarShield.com, 800-857-2481. Keep it handsome. We mentioned the bundles, dude. Get that bundle today. We want to have a contest. Who's going to sell more bundles? Will it be the Cam bundle or is it the Stricky bundle? Which one is it?
Well, we'll see. I mean, the Stricky bundle, is it like, what's the size on it? Because a bunch of kids can get it and wear it, and maybe that, offset it a little bit, but I don't know. We'll have to see on that. I want to see what your bundle looks like.
So let's get that going on. Again, proceeds go back to support the Montreal Resource Center. So check that out. Again, keepithandsome.com. Promo code Cam Restricted, you're going to save money, dude. And you're saving money on these bundles too, dude. You're saving a ton of money. So check that out. Keep it
Check
handsome.
it out. Check it
Bellman, our boy, Dan Bellman in Troy, Missouri. God, man. He probably listened to the Holy interview twice.
He loved it, didn't he? Well, he knows Holy. Man, he knows all these old school cats, man. Like, when a guy's cool because he's actually friends with the hockey guys in town, and he really is, and they fucking love him. And he's just a hockey guy, man. And they trust him and shit like that. That's why he loves the Holy, because he knows Holy. That's why he loves when we get all these old school blues guys on, because he knows them all. Because he's a cool cat. They want to hang out with him. Figure that one out.
And Bellman, dude, they sponsored blues hockey for years.
Shit,
when we were growing up, dude.
They sponsored everywhere. Youth hockey too. They do a ton of shit in St. Louis. Not only give you great service, they don't have swinging dicks, and they also fucking do a lot of charity work, a lot of stuff for kids, a lot of stuff for youth hockey in this town. So support those guys.
Again, available in Troy, Missouri. Cadillac, Buick, GMC. And, of course, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. So check that out and go say hi to Dan.
Yeah.
Best customer service you're going to find anywhere. Daredevil Hockey, I mentioned that, man. Again, parents out there, the promo code Cam and Strick is going to save you 25%. Skate lacerations are no joke, Cam.
No,
this is serious shit. Protect your kids, man. We are begging you to protect your kids. Go to daredevilhockey.com right now and hook it up. And if you're a men's league player or if you're
why not?
Professional player, you play over in Europe, wherever, dude. Order it.
Those fucking
and
morons
it's backed by the
league?
CHL, like I said. And this is like a no-brainer, dude. I don't know why we have to like convince people to protect themselves.
Andy, I don't get it. And especially like I'm in men's league. What do you mean? Fuck those dumb shits out there fucking falling down, falling on top of you because they don't know what the fuck they're a bunch of Leos. Remember the Leos out there? Like, oh, my stick's in here. My skate's everywhere. I don't know what I'm doing. Fuck all you. You're a fucking men's league guy. You better be protected. Bunch of fucking Leos stepping on you and shit. God, that pisses me off. Anyway.
And again, Ultimate Hockey fans, get that ceiling fan, get a custom made for whatever team you are, man. You want a Blackhawks one, a Maple Leafs one, a Canadiens one. Dude, they can make them with goalie sticks. They can make them with regular hockey sticks. You can mix and match, dude. They're cool as shit. I mean, it takes your hockey room, like, it makes it even cooler. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended, with the ceiling fan. And it's a great fan, too. It's like a high-end fan with a remote control and everything. Man, I love it. So check that out. CamandStrickPod.ultimatehockeyfans.com. Again, mention that promo code Cam and Strick. You're going to save you a ton of money on that shipping. So, we're hooking it up with all that type of stuff as well. So, all right, this has been Tone Amonte, man. Episode number 128. Great shit from him, and we appreciate him giving us some time. That was a lot of fun hearing his stories. We got lots more, so check out all our Instagram and Twitter pages, by the way, at Cam and Strick Pod.
Facebook.
We kind of have a Facebook, too. We have a new, design coming, basically, for our website, too, camandstrick.com. Every episode. Listen, we're going down to one a week. We should explain this to people right now, Cam. Going down to one a week. The hockey schedule is picking up crazy here in the month of April and down the stretch. We'll probably go back to 2. We'll see how it goes.
Summertime. Dude, there's so much content, man.
Yes.
Look, I get texts all the time. Guys, I'm trying to keep up. Of all those 500 fucking comments we had in 2 days.
Yes, 250 of them were guys we already had.
We already had on. I go, we just fucking had them on. we had fucking all these guys. I was like, oh my God, I got to catch up. So we're okay. Let's just do one a week. We'll put out different clips of the old school cast, like fucking Lou Lamoriello, Eric Lindros, all the big dicks we had. And then you guys can be entertained because I'm telling you, we have more and more people latching onto this thing, and they just haven't heard all of it yet. So we're gonna do one. We'll get the big boys on still. We'll do everything right, but we're still gonna give you a lot more content. It's just not gonna be a newer guy because I'm telling you, man, there's a lot in the fucking bank already that you guys haven't listened to. So we're gonna do this for a little bit.
Yeah, so some people have just come on board in the last month, Cam, maybe the last 6 weeks, dude. Maybe the last 2, 3, 4, 5 months, whatever it is.
Maybe just yesterday.
Go back to listen to Michael Pekka, Ryan Smith, dude. There's this ones that you'd be like, I don't know, Larry Robinson, dude. Like, there's something for everybody. You want crazy? You listen to Darren McCarty, man. There is
fucking
you want
hats.
something. You want something a little more like subtle. Listen to Mike McDonald, dude. Like, there's something for everybody.
Marty St. Louis.
Marty St.
Guys
Louis,
like that. He talks about youth hockey and fucking what he's doing with this kid. I mean, we have everybody on. There's so many more guys we go out there, more fucking superstars, more guys with great stories. But we get the guys on, but we're gonna do it once a week for a little bit until everything slows down. And then it's summertime when guys are just fucking chilling out. We'll probably pick back up to 2.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. So anyway, we appreciate everybody's support. There's no question. All right.
Yeah.
This has been the Cam and Strick podcast, episode number 128. Go to camandstrick.com. Again, there's still hats available up there as well. And we'll get those sent out to you. So thanks for listening. Thanks for the support as always on the Cam and Strick podcast.